one match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to try to dictate to you what you're going to do on both offense and defense. We're going to come at you.
One shot.
Now it's time to put the hats on and go get some work done.
So they're all going to look to make a statement early.
.316 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from Dion.
He took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just...
Holy cow!
Can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons win. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take, and there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot. Kept alive. Back in one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
All right.
One match away from immortality.
Hello and welcome to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. It's the PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from Asgard Yard in Chico, California. I'm Frank DiRienzo with Nick Dobis on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the visiting Las Plumas Thunderbirds against the host PV Vikings. Las Plumas comes into tonight's game with an overall record of 0-1, while the home team also has a record of 0-1.
That's right, Frank. Not only two teams looking for the first win of the season, but two first-year coaches looking for their first win in these programs. The visiting Thunderbirds come in after a 35-12 loss to Corning last week, but they really did give the Cardinals a good game. Coach David Moore has told Red Bluff Daily News that we're definitely ahead of where we were, but we still have a long ways to go. I think the question for the Thunderbirds coming in is, can the offensive line and defensive line control the line of scrimmage and win the time of possession? Key players for the Thunderbirds tonight, it's going to be their center, Cody Pohl, who was a Max Prep 2011 honorable mention, and as well as Brendan Matheson, who had 5 catches for 140 yards versus Corning last week. Very explosive player. So they're going to really need him to step up and have a big game. Also, fullback Eddie Romero, number 1 in your program, had a lot of red zone looks, and if the Las Plumas wants to be successful, they're going to have to score some red zone touchdowns, so they'll be looking for him a lot. And also this defense, they had 2 big 4th down red zone stops last week against Corning, so that probably gave them a lot of confidence going into this week as well. And going over to the home team here, who are currently ranked 20th in the Northern section, coming off a 20-10 loss to Lassen last week. Key players for the Vikings tonight will be linebacker Chad Olson, who missed last week's game due to a clavicle he broke in June at a UC Berkeley football camp. He's expected to play tonight and really give the defense a boost that it needs. Also, a star player to watch tonight will be Carson O'Connell, big 6'3", 305-pounder. Only Viking to be a preseason All-Northern section selection, so expect him to get a lot of good looks from Division I schools as well. So for the Vikings, Frank, I think for them it's, Coach Morris for the Thunderbirds said that they're a bend but don't break defense, but if the Vikings want to be successful tonight, they're definitely going to have to break that defense and score a lot of 6 points and touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. You had mentioned the Northern section selection in Carson O'Connell, and so we'll be looking to see him move some people around here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a big, strong, physical kid right in the middle of that offensive line. Las Plumas is going to have their hands full with him. They might have to try to disguise some coverages, maybe throw some different blitzes at him, because you don't really want him coming after your linebackers, or else tailbacks are going to be gaining a lot of yards.
Right, and I think that's key for any defense. You want to keep the defensive lineman matched up on the defensive lineman. You don't want that O-line getting into the secondary.
Absolutely, but I'm sorry.
No, it should be fun, though.
It should be fun. Looks like the home crowd has come out here in full force, and they're still piling in, and looks like it's going to be another beautiful night here in the North section and another beautiful game of football.
And we're right here in the stands, and it's just a sea of navy blue here, and is that navy blue? I don't know.
It's a lot of blue is what it is.
Right. And at least we're on the home side. Yeah.
That's right. Always nice to have the home cooking on your side. Absolutely.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup between these 2 offensive and defensive lines, and it should be a pretty good game. 2 evenly matched teams. Las Plumas not only looking for their first win this season, but they did go 0-10 last year. So a win would be not only a step forward in the season, but really a step forward in their program as well.
Right, and that has to be positive for the players as well. To get that first win under your belt, just speaks volumes for momentum going through the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And as I'm looking out now at the training here, looks like LP is fielding some big players down there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so it should be an interesting matchup here because, well, with a good team like the Vikings, hopefully LP can come in here to their hometown and really show them what they're made of.
Yeah, and that starts off by getting a really good start to the game. Maybe getting an early turnover, or just having something positive to build off it. And that's something to look forward to, is the body language of Las Plumas. If something goes wrong right away, is there someone there, to grab the helm of the ship and kind of ride it, or are they just going to kind of fold and collapse? And I hope it's they find some fight and make this a very entertaining football game.
Right, and we have just perfect conditions out here for football. It's a little bit muggy, but pretty sure that now that the sun has gone down, it's going to get cooler here, and weather plays a big factor in play, as because if it's too hot, players can get overheated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, hydration is going to be an issue tonight with the humidity, but other than that, it's a clear-cut sky here in Northern California, and we got 2 teams ready to play some football. So.
Well, that's going to do it for PlayOnSports.com pregame show. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a few minutes. Friday Night Football begins next on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. What? No, we don't need to start now. Welcome back to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, coming to you live from Chico, California. I'm Frank DiRienzo with Nick Dobis on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Today's matchup features the 0-1 LP Thunderbirds visiting the 0-1 Pleasant Valley Vikings. And let's just reiterate again, what are the keys to this matchup tonight?
Well, the key for the Thunderbirds is, again, control the line of scrimmage. Obviously, they're going to be playing a very physical Viking team here, but if they can control the line of scrimmage, they have a pretty good chance. If you're the Vikings here, they got to put a lot of pressure on that Los Plumas defense, get the 6 points on the board early and often in order to take this team out of the ball game early.
And with the sound of the Viking horn, I think we're just about ready for play here. And in true football fashion, the stands will stand up here. And the kick is away, and it's a squibber. And it's caught at just about the 30-yard line and taken down right there by Reese Maddox, number 24.
Once again, keep your eyes on big old number 75 there, Carson O'Connell. He's going to be a big factor in this game on the offensive line for Pleasant Valley.
And I'm really excited to see him right here. And see, there's some miscommunication in the huddle. Oh, and now we're ready to go here. And they line up just about the 31-yard line, I'd say.
Oh.
And it's a rollout, and it's incomplete to the left side. Matt Henderson, one of the team's captains.
And that was a nice block by number 40, Sam Savercool, fullback right there, to give his quarterback some time to get around that edge. But unfortunately, he couldn't make the catch.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 here. Still on the 31-yard line. We're ready with the snap. And it's a handoff to the left side. And Sam Savercool picks up a couple.
There's that push I was talking about earlier by that Viking offensive line. Good little drive off the line. Nice to make a nice little 3rd down and manageable here for the Vikings.
Yeah, I noticed they were, attacking their blocks and, gave them a really big hole to drive through.
Slipped a couple tackles as well. See what the Vikings come out here on 3rd down.
And it's a handoff again to Savercool, and it looks like he's going to have a 1st down and more as he's brought down at midfield.
Very nice pull by the offside guard there to open up that trap play. Had a lot of real estate, and he looks like he's got some pretty good vision, too, on that run.
Right. And these holes, I mean, they're big enough to drive a truck through.
That's right.
Now, these first 2 running plays here. So
that's right. That Los Plumas line is going to have to mix it up here a little bit.
And here we go. Matt Henderson will be in motion, and it's a fullback handoff. And it looks like he's going to pick up just about 7 yards on the play. And that was Savercool yet again. Lined up in the fullback position this time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very conservative approach here by Los Plumas, but you know what? They're getting that nice push off the line, and they're just going to keep eating up that clock until they find the end zone.
And it's another handoff to Savercool, and he heads off to the right side. And he shimmies down, and it's going to be close to the 1st down here, just about at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to give it to him that time. Keep moving the chains.
And they are going to give it to him.
Now, this is dangerous territory here for the Thunderbirds because I would expect a play-action pass possibly by the Vikings. It's pretty nice territory here, especially on 1st down.
Right, and their efficiency has been excellent so far.
So far.
Yeah. Here we go. It's a pass out to the left-hand side to Chad Olson, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 29-yard line, maybe even the 28, and he's going to pick up a couple on that play. And I think that's what this team has to do, run, pass.
That's right. Yeah, just keep that Las Plumas defense off balance for most of the night. It looks like Las Plumas is going to have to mix up their coverages a little bit. It's still early in the game, but they're one mean machine right now.
And Savercool with the handoff again, and it looks like he's going to have enough for the first down here, and they're moving the chains again for the third first down of this drive.
Yeah. I think what could also be a problem here for Las Plumas is Savercool's height. He's low to the line. He hides behind that offensive line, so the linebackers could have a really hard time reading of where the play is actually going.
Right. And that's what you want in a running back with low center of gravity. And it's a pitch out to the left side with Savercool running. And it looks like he's going to run out of bounds at just about the 14-yard line. And he's picking up some major yardage here in the first half, and we're not even 2 minutes into the game yet.
No, sir. No, it looks like Pleasant Valley is just sticking to that game plan, just pound it on the ground, and keep that time of possession their side. It looks like we have an early timeout here. But yeah, some nice footwork there by O'Connell, and as well as number 77, Tyler Stimmock, throwing some big blocks out there for that offensive line. Just a note here why we got a timeout. Hometown head coach here, David Morris. Excuse me, not David Morris. Apologize. Chris Cooley is the head football coach here at Pleasant Valley. Former Hamilton High coach for 11 years, where he had a 92-39 record. While at Hamilton, he led them to back-to-back Northern Section championships in 07-08. So even though they missed the playoffs last year, this guy has some championship pedigree in him.
Sure thing, and hopefully as the players can rely on his tutelage to help them
Absolutely.
Be a success in this league. And it looks like it's going to be another handoff to Savercool up the middle.
Looks like another first down. That's 4 first downs on this first drive here.
4 of them.
This first down will be first and goal on the T-Bird 9-yard line.
Yeah, the Las Plumas defensive line is going to have to get low, go at the knees of that offensive line, because that offensive line is just getting in the secondary now.
And Savercool runs up the middle and avoids one defender and gets it down to about the 1-yard line, maybe even the half-yard line.
Pardon me on that gasp there, but number 73, Brandon Maddox, just laid a huge pancake block right there to open up that hole. And as an offensive line, that always gets you going early in the game.
And definitely, that's a definite momentum shifter. You know what I mean? And from on a running play, somebody who's who's not even involved in the play, can make it. And it looks like Savercool will take it up the middle again, and it's a touchdown. So that's 6 points for the Vikings here in the first half, with 9:21 here to go in the first quarter.
Not very flashy, but you know what? If it puts 6 points on the board, why not?
Absolutely.
That was a very, very efficient drive by this Viking offense.
Yeah, and their running game's looking at peak efficiency right now.
Mm-hmm.
On the 4 first downs, Savercool has to have probably 43 yards on the ground already. So, this should be an interesting game. And the kick is through the uprights, and it's good. Mm-hmm. And the Pleasant Valley Vikings are up by 7 now.
With about a 9:21 left here in the first quarter, Las Plumas has got to be thinking about time of possession here. Got to keep that defense off the field and, give them a break and do something positive on offense here.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know if you could see it to the south side of the section, but the seniors have filled in their traditional spot. on their couches. Tradition here I've heard dates back to about 15 years here, and I'm sure we'll catch a glimpse of that later in the broadcast. But
sure thing.
They look pretty comfortable on those couches.
Yeah, sure. And that's an interesting tradition that I haven't seen that before. And it looks like we're about ready here for the kickoff. And looks like it's going to be Brody Hill on the kick. And they're just about ready. And the kick is away. Returning is Ronnie Osby for LP. And he's going to come around to the left side and just creamed there at the, I'd say about 16-yard line.
Yeah, Las Plumas is mostly going to come out in a two-back set here. It'd be interesting to see if they try to ground it out with this Viking defense, or if they try something flashy here and go to the air early.
Right, absolutely. I mean, this is the time where LP just has to score a touchdown to win some momentum back and maybe even shift it back into their favor.
Absolutely.
And it's a fake toss to the left or to the right and a handoff to the left. With Eddie Romero on the carry.
Yeah, it looks like the Vikings are going to be sitting in that 6-2 defense for most of the night unless Las Plumas can do something here to change their minds about that.
Just little under center. Ooh. And he fires it, and he overthrows his man, Brendan Matheson. And looks like it's going to be 3rd and 9 now.
And I think number 15, Stephen Loyne, knew he had a pretty good chance at an interception there. Nice use of the slant route right there. Could have been a really positive yards, but timing wasn't quite right there for the Thunderbirds.
Right, and in order to go against this PV defense, they're going to have to get on the same page here. So 3rd and long here with 8:40 left in the first quarter. And he fakes the handoff, rolls out left, and launches it downfield. And Stephen Lyon got a hand on it and prevented that pass. And that will bring up 4th down and 9.
Very much atoning for that near interception he had the last play. Stuck with his receiver the whole time. Let him get back a little bit, but you know what? The ball was underthrown. No harm, no foul, and it's going to be 4th down here for Las Plumas.
Right, and Cody Hardwick was the intended receiver on that play. And we'll see the punt team come out here. And it looks like he's going to be punting from just about inside the 5-yard line. And the punt goes out to just about midfield, and it looks like it's going to be returned down to the 43-yard line.
Matt Henderson on return picks up about 15.
By Matt Henderson.
Well, I'm sure this Las Plumas defense isn't too excited to be back on the field too soon, but you know what? They need to make a big stop here in order to, stop the efficiency of this running game. Maybe put an extra guy in the box, think about blitzing the safety, but something. But until they do something to stop that run, I think the Vikings are just going to keep shoving it down the throat.
And it looks like they're going to line up in trips to the right side, and it's Sabercool yet again to the right side, and he's going to run, and looks like he picked up just about 5 yards, and he's down at the 35-yard line.
And Frank, it looks like this one might be coming back on a penalty as well. Yep, holding call.
And it looks like they're going to move back here.
Yeah. Normally they don't say the numbers, but I bet on a trips play, the holding play was probably on the receivers. It's kind of hard for a receiver to practice blocking and practice all the time because he's not used to it. But you just got to make sure you keep your hands on the inside and just get in the way so Savercool can make a play there. But unfortunately, they're going to be backed up another 10 yards.
So it's a spot of the foul call. March back 10 yards from there. That'll bring up a 1st
And it's about 1st and 19 here. And it's a handoff to Sayercole, and he is stuffed right at the line. That might even be a loss here. And it looks like it might bring up just about it's no gain. So 2nd and 19 here.
It's a big play here early for both teams. Vikings will be looking to get some yardage back to make this a 3rd and manageable. But if Los Plumas can hold them here, they have a pretty good chance of seeing the punt team for the Vikings come on, which could be a huge momentum changer. Wow. Got my merge wixed on that one a little bit.
And it looks like it's going to be a pass out to Matt Henderson. And it looks like he's going to pick up just about 8 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, it might not be easy to see you guys at home, but there is definitely a battle brewing between number 75, Carson O'Connell, and number 79, Gerard Shanahan, right in the middle. Two big men just going at it in the middle of that offensive line, and it's kind of fun to watch. And could be a key to this matchup here.
And with the snap, he looks back, and he passes it down in the middle of the field, and it's overthrown. And Jake Danny is the intended receiver on the play.
A little creativity there by the Vikings, coming out with a 5-wide receiver set, trying to catch the T-Birds off guard there, but the pass was just a little bit overthrown. Big play by that Las Plumas defense right there, so looks like they might be actually going for it here. No, okay, the punt team is on the field. That'll kind of confuse me there a little bit.
And here we go with Brody Hill, about to punt it away. With Marcus Smith on the return, and it is a high punt. It looks like it's going to go out of bounds just about the 22-yard line.
Yeah, you gotta give your return or your coverage team a little bit of a chance there. Obviously, it's a hard kick, especially for high school kids, to try to pin it within the 10-yard line, but got to give your team a little bit more of a chance than that.
And so what do you think that will be the key for Las Plumas here on this drive, since they couldn't get it done the last time?
Well, I think they had an opportunity in the passing game there. Like I said, they're going to have to put the ball outside and throw it outside a little bit just to, unstingy that 6-2 defense of the Vikings.
And it looks like it's going to be a handoff to Ronnie Osby to the left side, and he shakes a couple of tackles, but he's still going to be brought down behind the line. We'll have to see where they spot it here, and there is a flag on the field, a late flag.
Looks like it could possibly be a personal foul, but too bad for Osby. There wasn't too much running room on that play. Looks like the Vikings sniffed it out pretty early. And, add insult to injury, you're going to back yourself up another 15 yards.
Right. And that's not going to get it done here.
No.
And so the matchup that you had mentioned before with Jared Shanahan and Carson O'Connell, they're just about the same size, but one's 1 inch shorter.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Jared's just 1 inch shorter.
A couple of Twin Peaks just really going at it each other. So.
Yeah, and these are big kids too.
And you've been hearing about the other guy. I'm sure Sean O'Connell has been hearing about
Carson O'Connell.
Carson O'Connell. I'm sorry, excuse me. Carson O'Connell has been hearing about Jared Shanahan all week, and vice versa. So to finally see them go at it is then highly anticipated as much with us as it is with them as well. Looks like Las Plumas is really taking their time here on this play.
And with that penalty, it's going to be 2nd and 25.
I look for a little draw play here. Try to get him some more positive yards.
And it's going to be a quick pass out to Marcus Smith. And it's going to go right through his fingertips and out of bounds. So that's going to be an incomplete pass, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 25 here.
Yeah, there's not much that Coach Morris can pull out of the playbook here at 3rd and 25. Kind of got to be thinking. I mean, they might kind of go for you for a long pass, but you're got to be thinking about giving your punt team a little bit of breathing room here.
And they're lined up in the I form here. And it looks like it's going to be a pass play. And he throws it down the field to number 7. And it looks like Dylan Beatty was on the coverage on that play.
Yeah,
it was intended for Brendan Matheson.
Absolutely.
And what do you think broke down on that play?
Well, it looked like the safety, Beatty had a nice read on it. Almost could have made an interception if he had the ball, but it's a great read by the safety to break it up and force a 4th down.
And the punt is away, and it's a line drive into the sidelines here, and it doesn't go very far, and it looks like they're going to spot it at the 32-yard line.
I think it almost took out a couple heads over there
right.
as well.
Yeah, I think it took a couple head coaches along with it.
Look out. Punter's giving out free haircuts today,
right.
apparently. Well, let's see if the Vikings, try to keep it simple once again. Go back to that bread and butter and just obviously the first the loss of down just on the first play of the last drive was a big factor. But let's see if they go back to the bread and butter here.
And with excellent field position, they're going to hand it off yet again here, and it looks like he's going to pick up a couple of yards.
Looks like that was Saver Cool again. And you know what? At 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, I'd be riding that Saver Cool horse all the way to the end zone as well.
Right, absolutely. Any good running back, any great running back for that matter, usually averages around 3 or 4 yards a carry.
Absolutely.
And it looks like it's going to be a pass here. And it's caught at the 20-yard line, and he's brought down all the way down to the 5-yard line. And it looks like Houston McGowan was on that play, and that was a pretty good little pickup there. They found a little hole in the coverage.
Pretty good little pickup and great blocking by 45 Matt Henderson by the wide receiver right there. Really opened up that play, and there's that play action we were talking about earlier. Now that Los Plumas defense is a little off kilter here. Let's see if they can bear down here and get a goal line stop.
And he's going to roll out right and pass down to the right sideline, and it looks like it's going to be a touchdown. And the aforementioned Matt Henderson has a touchdown here.
You know what? Gotta love that. Throw the nice block. Coach rewards you with a nice pass play to get 6 points on the board. Gotta love that as a receiver.
And so we waited the extra point here. And the kick by Brody Hill is through the uprights and good. And the Pleasant Valley Vikings are going to go up here by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us on PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. Sorry for saying it so many times. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games at YouTube and youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Once again, a very efficient drive there for the Vikings. And once again, if you're Los Plumas offense, even if you don't score a touchdown here, you got to, shift momentum, shift field position, give that defense a little bit of a break. And also a chance to make some adjustments as well on that sideline.
Right, and we should also mention that the excellent field position that they got because of the botched punt.
Absolutely, yeah. Special teams playing a factor here early in this game.
And as the fans stand up here, Looks like Brody Hill's going to kick again. And it looks like this one's going to come back.
Looks like it's probably going to be an offsides on the kicking team here.
Well, we have a stoppage.
And they're bringing it back here.
That kind of happens with the young guys a little bit on that kickoff team. Get a little amped, get a little too excited to go hit someone, and next thing you know, you cross the line too fast. Let's see if this sets up a pretty good return here for Las Plumas. You know, finally get some good field position to work with. Finally get on the right side of that 50-yard line.
Right, and it looks like Hill's going to go over to the other hash mark now. Here on the 35-yard line. And we are ready for the kickoff here. Looks like Marcus Smith and Ronnie Osby are going to be back for Las Plumas. And it's a big kick, and it looks like Osby's going to take it here. And he runs up just about the 10-yard line, the 15, and he's taken down right about the 20-yard line, and there is a flag on the play. We'll have to see who's this against here.
Well, if it's on Las Plumas again, this is really going to shoot them in the foot because this is going to be either their third or even possibly probably their third penalty of the evening here. Nope. Looks like it's going to be on the T-Birds.
Penalty will push the T-Birds back.
And it looks like it's going to be an illegal block against the T-Birds. And that's going to push them back, and they're not starting with great field position here.
We got an illegal block against the T-Birds, pushes them back. It'll be 1st and 10 on their own 15-yard line. Just Little's pass is caught by Travis.
Nice little handoff there.
And that was to
1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line.
Nice
well,
little.
we might have our numbers mixed up here.
Well, nice little handoff there to finally get them the first down of this first quarter here, and finally get them some positive yards.
It was a pass.
Oh, it was a pass.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like they're gonna pass again, and it looks like it's quarterback draw, and he's gonna gain just about 5 yards here. And Jess Little, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and just about 5 yards, maybe even 4.
Looks like Las Plumas is trying to quicken up their plays a little bit, maybe try to go with some faster plays, faster routes, try to break up the interior of that Viking defense.
And Little hands off to Osby. And it looks like he's going to have no gain there. Or maybe even 1. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
This is going to be a big 3rd down here for the Las Plumas Thunderbirds. See if they can convert here and finally, get on the right side of that yard line.
I think they're just hoping to cross midfield here. And it's fumbled on the ground. And Little picks it up and gets it right back to the line of scrimmage. So it looks like it's going to be a 4 and out here yet again with 3:10 left in the first quarter.
And that's unfortunate. As a coach, you'd hate to see your team finally get some momentum, and then just to finally have a mistake like that finally cost you, and you have to punt the ball again. Let's see if the youngster here can get some positive yards on this punt.
And it also does plenty of damage to, player morale when you can't get it moving on the field. And the punt is away. And it's caught down by the 18-yard line. He's going to run it back. And he's going to be down at the 22nd yard line. They're going to say his knee was down.
Very nice tackle by Marcus Smith there. Really had his eyes on the tackle there. Didn't let the running back out of the side and didn't go for any head fake or anything. Very nice tackle on the play.
And that was Matt Henderson on the return. And it looks like he only got just about 5 yards there.
And even though if you're Los Plumas, you didn't score a touchdown on the last play, at least you shifted field position here and gave the Vikings a long field to work with.
And here we go again. It looks like it's going to be a handoff to Sabercool yet here again. And it looks like they're going to call him down on forward progress.
I think that official was the only one who saw him down on that play.
Absolutely.
I think the home crowd would agree with me on that.
Yeah, right. As he probably heard through our headsets, it was just, ooh.
But yeah.
It looks like about 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah. But, Sabercool is a pretty slippery operator there on the field. Tough guy to bring down.
That's a tongue twister, slippery operator. And it looks like it's going to be a toss to the right-hand side to Sabercool again. He looks like he's going to get close to the first down here.
Another entertaining aspect of Sabercool is not only his vision and his low center of gravity, but his feet just keep churning, like two little Flintstone feet out there just running in between the offensive line. And even though he takes 2 or 3 hits, he just keeps on rolling.
And it looks like it's going to be a handoff again up the middle, and they keep driving here. And there's a pickup of maybe 3 yards. It's going to be second and about 7 here.
Yeah, it looks like that the linebackers for Las Plumas are playing a little bit closer to the line, anticipating that run more. Let's see if the Vikings come out here with a little quick pass over the middle to gain some yards.
Ooh. And it looks like he's going to be sacked in the backfield by Cody Hardwick.
And that in the business, if you're an offensive lineman, what we call a lookout block, where, you miss your block and you tell the quarterback behind you, look out.
Right.
He had no chance of going anywhere on that play.
Sure thing. And he looks all disheveled. His jersey's up over his pads. Yeah. And that was a bad hit there.
But if you're Las Plumas, that's a big defensive boost right there. You get a big sack, third down, hopefully they can get a stop here and shift the momentum in this game. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout here. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for PlayOn Sports school broadcast program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. Besides the holding penalty earlier in the quarter and that sack right there, this offensive line for the Vikings have actually been, in tune with each other and actually been moving the ball pretty efficiently.
And that's what I've noticed too. They've looked like they've all been on the same page, and and it reflects on the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, like I was previously said, that's a big sack for Las Plumas here. Let's see if they can get maybe a big turnover or even a stop here would be big for this T-Bird team.
Right, absolutely. I mean, just one sack, one interception, one fumble recovery can change the whole course of a game. We'll just have to see if it'll affect them here. Looks like it's going to be a pass, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield yet again. A devastating hit twice in a row here, and LP has stuffed him here.
Yeah, Dominic Davis is definitely getting his fill of those last 2 plays, and the offensive line is going to have to go to the drawing board on that one and make some adjustments because it looks like that defensive line has finally woken up and made some big plays here.
Right, and that's going to bring us down to the end of the first quarter here, and the Vikings are up 14-0. And when they come back into the second quarter, they're going to have a 4th down and 16 to go. Now, what's your analysis so far on the Viking offense?
Well, like I said, the Vikings came off very simple. You know, it looked very vanilla on the field, but you know what? When vanilla tastes good and you're scoring touchdowns, why not have some more? But it looks like Los Plumas, you know, they've been hanging in there. They've had a nice defensive stop. Couple big sacks right there, which will unsettle any quarterback. But Pleasant Valley had 5 first downs that first quarter, and I'm sure they have a repeat performance. They're going to put a couple more touchdowns on the board.
Right, and with the first sack, I think that's the reason they took a timeout, so they could give their quarterback a little breather here. And it looks like he's going to have a little bit longer of a breather after the second sack here. And we'll just have to see if that affects him here in the second quarter.
Absolutely.
But it's the ball is in LP's court now. With that momentum shift, we'll have to see if they can capitalize on it.
Be interesting to see if they decide to go for a block here. Finally get the ball on the other side of the field. Maybe try to go for a big special teams play here.
And the kick is away. The long punt just about to the 40-yard line, and it will hit back to about the 43. Mm-hmm. And good field position for LP here, and like I said, ball's in their court.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and a team that actually showed some potential in the passing game in that first quarter. They had some guys that were a little bit open, that were either some missed throws or some good plays by the defense. But if you're Coach Morris, you got to be a little excited about that and maybe a little bit eager to go back to the pass.
And we'll have to see here if they're going to do just that. And Jess Little's under center. And it looks like it's going to be a toss to Osby on the right-hand side, and he gains just about 5 yards.
Yeah, he showed a really good burst through that hole there to pick up some pretty positive yards. As well, talking about the defensive line of Las Plumas, it looks like the offensive line is starting to get a little bit clicking there with that play.
Absolutely. I mean, they have to drive through this Vikings defense here and show them what they're made of here.
Well, yeah, points on the board here would be quite a bit of a momentum shift in this game.
And Little's under center. Brendan Matheson in motion. And he's going to fake the handoff here and pass out to the right side. And it looks like it's going to be caught and very close to a first down.
Yeah, that took a tremendous amount of concentration to catch that ball with the defender on his back. Good, solid throw by Little there, and moves to. Oh, looks like he's actually going to be short of the first down there, but it's some positive yards. But they might talk this one over a little bit.
And we might even see the chain gang out here to measure. And they're going to deem it a first down, and the chains will move here. And he's going to fake the toss and hand it off to his fullback through the middle, and it looks like it's going to be a pickup just about 3 yards here. That's going to bring about second and 7.
Yeah, look, I would say
perhaps even 2nd and 6.
Absolutely. I would say look for them again, maybe to do a nice little short pass play here. I think Little got a little bit of that, no pun intended, but he got a little bit of that confidence there with that throw, and maybe he can get something cooking here at the quarterback position.
And Little hands it off to Osby right up the middle here, and he's not going to go very far, as looks like about a 3-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up about a 3rd and 4 here, which is manageable.
Very manageable, and one of the more manageable third downs here if you're Las Plumas. Once again, back on the positive side of the field position here. Let's see if they can make a big play.
And Little sends a man in motion here. Fakes the handoff. And he tosses it down the field, and it's popped up by one receiver and is caught by another. Very good play there.
Papa always said it's always better to be looking good sometimes, and it plays true in that play right there.
Right, and Dustin Parsons is going to gets the reception.
Yeah, very nice.
And I'm not sure who
there.
had the assist on that, but
we'll check the NBA stat line after
right.
that to see who gets the assist. But
yeah, sure.
Very nice heads-up play by Parsons right there to keep the drive alive.
And here we go. It's going to be handoff to Osby yet again. He breaks out to the left side and is hit very hard. And it looks like they're tussling a little bit here.
Yeah, Osby had some words to say after that. But you know what? If you're running back, if you're going to be cutting back, you got to be waiting. You know, Thor's hammer is going to be coming right back to hit you here at Asgard Yard. But nice tackle, but you know. Let's keep the talking to the huddle. There's none of that needed.
Absolutely. Well, just about 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. We'll see LP's driving here. 2nd and 10. And it looks like it's going to be a flag on the play.
Yeah, I believe who delivered that hit was number 42, Chad Olson. And as I said earlier, first game back after suffering a clavicle injury in June at a UC Cal Berkeley football camp, and I'm sure he's pretty excited to be, having those football pads back on and laying hits like that again.
And with that penalty, it'll back him up here to 2nd and 15. Just about the 35-yard line. And he's going to roll out right, and he's running towards the sidelines. And he's trying to escape the defenders, and it looks like they're going to sack him for a whole bunch of yards here. And he's past midfield and about the 48-yard line there. And the decision to run there.
As a young quarterback, you're going to want to make the big play, to help your team out. But maybe sometimes the best play is just throwing the ball out of bounds, to set up a third and, somewhat manageable rather than a third and a mile here. So, he definitely needs to learn how to throw that ball away.
Yeah, it's going to be about 3rd and 30 here. And
see what Coach Morris pulls out of the playbook here.
Absolutely. And it looks like he's going to have 3 receivers lined up on the left-hand side here.
And that might be a pretty good timeout for if you're Coach Cooley. Get your defense settled. Make sure everyone's got their coverage right. Maybe look for a possible trick play here if you're on defense. Excuse me. Wow, a little bit of a burp there. Well, it's nice to see that the humidity has calmed down a little bit and the weather's starting to settle in. And it is, once again, another beautiful night here up in Northern California, in Chico, California.
Right, there's not as much of a breeze as there was earlier, but definitely is cooling off. It's starting to get real comfortable down here.
Almost as comfortable as those seniors over there on the couches.
Yes, absolutely. They're on the right end zone.
I wonder who had to buy the bean dip for that.
Yeah,
many people,
right. Absolutely. looks like they're having a beach party down there. Sure looks like a lot of fun. We should be broadcasting from down there.
Might be a little too rowdy for us. I don't know.
And it's going to be LP, 3rd and forever. And Little drops back, and he's going to go for it all with the home run. And there's flags everywhere on the end of that play, and it might be defensive pass interference, and they might have done it here. Got a first down.
Yeah, it didn't really look like much was going to happen on that play, but as a quarterback, you got to throw those balls, and you might get that call sometimes, and we'll see if it works out in their favor. It almost looked like the ball kind of disappeared on that play for a second. I wasn't sure who came down with it.
Right.
It looks like the officials are going to have a bit of a conversation here about it.
And it looks like it's going to be defensive pass interference. Oh, and offensive pass interference, and those penalties are going to offset. So it's going to be replayed third down here. And it's going to be third down and 30 here.
Yeah, kind of an interesting call. Sorry to interrupt you, but kind of an interesting call there. Usually if it's that debatable, usually, the official keeps it in his pocket. But, offset, replay the down, and let's see if Las Plumas can work up some magic here.
And Jess Little gets his play from the sideline here. He's telling his troops what to do here. And, there's not many plays in the playbook that are designed to go for more than 30 yards. But we'll have to see if they pull some magic out here.
No, sir, but stranger things have happened.
And in the shotgun, he gets it back, and he throws it down the middle of the field. And Travis Ramage is going to lose control of it.
Almost,
here, and he's slow to get up.
Yeah, almost made a fantastic catch there, but even if he did, he still would have been about 10 yards short of that first down. So looks like Las Plumas will have to bring out the punt team once again. It looks like it's just a little bit off his throws tonight. Not quite getting it right where it needs to be. It's tough to throw that perfect spiral and whatnot, but it looks like he hasn't really made really been in sync with his receivers yet.
15-yard mark chop will bring the ball up to the Vikings 35-yard line.
I guess
I guess that's going to be a roughing the passer against, and LP lucked out here.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line here.
I was too mesmerized by the attempt to notice the flag in the backfield, I think.
Absolutely.
Well, a couple penalties here have kept this drive alive, so let's see if they can finally put one in the end zone.
And it looks like he's going to pass here to number 7, and he breaks a couple of tackles, and it looks like he gets positive yards here. It's going to be enough for a first down and more, and looks like it's down at just about the 15-yard line here.
Yeah, and that's the kind of throws that Lidl needs to make. Not perfect throws, but throws to give his receivers opportunity to make plays down the field. Nice pitch and catch right there.
And it was Brendan Matheson on the catch there. And he did a good job, too, getting away from defenders and everything and extending that play.
First red zone opportunity here for Las Plumas. Let's see if they make the most out of it.
And they're going to fake the toss to the right and hand it off on the inside, and it's a fumble, and it looks like it's going to be a Viking pickup at under the 5-yard line there. And talk about putting on the brakes. And they rolled it down instead. And the fans moan and groan here.
Yeah, the Boo Birds are starting to come out right now.
Birds, yeah.
Las Plumas is getting all the right calls right now, but sometimes that's what you need to put 6 on the board. But let's see if the Vikings can stop the drive here, can continue to bend but not break.
And with him marked down there, it's going to be 2nd and 5 or 2nd and goal here. No, I guess 2nd and 5. Yes. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout for LP, and they're going to discuss their options here, being so close to the touchdown.
Yeah, it also looked like they didn't quite have the personnel they wanted on the field for that particular play. So good timeout by Coach Morris here. Still a lot of time left here in this second quarter with 6:55, but he still got that one timeout in his back pocket.
And LP has a real chance here of cutting this lead in half.
Yeah, and that would be a big momentum shift for this team here. And the main thing here is their defense has had quite a bit of rest on that bench and able to continue to make adjustments on that sideline. So hopefully they can put 6 on the board here and give that defense a chance to make some real plays.
And it's about 2nd and 4 here. And he's going to hand it off inside. And he's going to get stuffed right at the line. And looks like that was Joseph Gaston. And maybe a gain about a yard or so. And it'll be about 3rd and 3 here. And they're so close they can taste it right now.
Absolutely. Las Plumas has faced some big 3rd downs this first half. None bigger than this one right here.
And this might be the key play of this drive right here. And he's going to pass it, and it's tipped at the line, and it's going to incomplete. Cody Hardwick was the intended receiver on that.
Yeah, tried to sneak a little pop pass right there just to get 6 points, but the linebacker read that pretty nicely.
And so that's going to bring up 4th down and 3. And what would you do in this situation? Would you go for it?
Well, I think, you got the momentum right here. Your offense has been moving pretty well. Been fortunate with some penalties, but I think Coach Morris is making the right choice to go for it here.
Right, and absolutely. And even if they don't convert it here, they'll still have excellent field position for their defense. And he's going to roll out right. And he's almost going to get sacked one time. And he throws it towards the back of the end zone and overthrows it. And that's going to not convert here. Cody Hardwick was the intended receiver yet again here. And it looks like they're going to turn it over right at about the 6-yard line, maybe even 4-yard line.
Absolutely. Little's a little frustrated. He might be frustrated at his teammates right now, but that Viking secondary did a nice job covering the corner route, left nothing open. He picked up some nice blocks in the backfield there, but, once that first initial play is blown, it's kind of hard to make a play with that short of field. But let's see if the defense can make a big play here. And it looks like Las Plumas is going to keep trying to ground it out on the ground.
And that was Houston McGowan on the carry. Now he hit about 6 yards here, and it's going to be about 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're going to be walking the safety up.
And it's going to be a pickup of just about 2 yards there, and it's going to be about 3rd and 1 here with the first half winding down here. It's about 4:20 left on the clock.
Yeah, Las Plumas has been walking their safeties up these last couple plays.
And it looks like it's going to be a handoff again, and he might have enough, and he will have enough for the first down. And with the Viking signal, we know that he has a first down.
Yeah, the horde moves forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings are going to be keeping it on the ground, but I can see Coach Cooley here, once they get in the right field position, to try to go for a big strike here and get some huge momentum going into that second half.
And it looks like it's going to be a pass, and it's caught about the 30-yard line, and he's still going and almost to midfield. And it looks like we're going to have a late flag on the play. So we'll have to see if this comes back here. And it's going to be a personal foul against the offense, so this one is coming back, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Penalties have been the story so far of the first half for this Viking team. Still up 14-0, but they kept Las Plumas in that drive with a lot of penalties and kind of hurting their offense, which has been moving pretty well here right now. Too bad that nice pickup by Savercool has to come back. Especially a personal foul like that at the end of the play. It's just, obviously, it's a big game. You get a little bit heated. You get the little inner matchup rivalry, but you can't cost your team like that.
And it looks like Gregory Darms here is ready for the snap in the shotgun. And he's going to roll out to the left, and he's going to throw it. And it's going to be caught, and he's pushed out of bounds. And it looks like that was a gain of about 6 yards. And that was Matt Henderson with the reception.
Nice little pickup there with the out route. Good solid throw. Brings him back to manageable field position here.
Absolutely. And that's going to bring him up to 2nd and 4 now. And Darms is ready. And he's going to hand it off to Sabercool here. And he's going to pick up just a couple here.
Looks like it might be a little bit of a 3rd and short.
And it looks like they're closer. And it looks like they're going to give him the first down here. And they're going to move the chains yet again. And all this team does is first down. So it seems like.
And it keeps that clock ticking too as well.
Absolutely.
Looks like.
And it looks like we're going to have another timeout for LP here.
And I believe that's going to be their last time out of the half, if I'm not mistaken.
Plumas will take their 3rd and final time out of the half.
Okay. We want to do a live read. Well, it appears that this Los Plumas defense has come out a little bit more physical since the end of the first quarter, and has really been bringing a little bit more pressure. Really, they've walked their safeties up, loaded the men in the box, and forced these Vikings offense to be a little bit more two-dimensional and stuff. Hasn't really stopped them there yet, but they've shown some bright spots that they could be a good force in the second half.
And with 3:34 left here in the first half, looks like they're just going to keep running the ball here, keep that clock running, and go into the half up by 2 touchdowns. Now it looks like it's going to be a pass play. He rolls out to the left. He tosses it down the field, and it is caught down at the 45-yard or 35-yard line, excuse me. And that's going to be a good pickup by Chad Olson.
Nice play there. Lulled the defense to sleep. Think you're going to go into the half here with a nice lead, but nice big pass play right there to put him in a nice field position.
Right, and that's going to be 1st and 10, just about the 29-yard line here. And they're driving yet again.
Yeah, ball was a bit underthrown, but the receiver made a nice catch on that play.
And with the snap, it's going to be handoff to Sabercool right up the middle, and it looks like he has daylight, and he is going to go in for a touchdown, and it looks like they're going to go up by a 3rd touchdown here.
Yeah, I think the seniors on that sideline need to save him some room on the couch because he's been putting in some work this first half, I'll tell you what, with his 2nd touchdown.
Absolutely. And with that touchdown, they're playing the Vikings fight song here in the stadium, and this crowd's quite lively for a football crowd.
Absolutely.
Every single seat is filled, including down there by the sidelines where the couches are. And it looks like we're just about ready for the extra point here to make it. And it's through the uprights, and that's going to make it 21-0 with about 3:17 left here in the second quarter.
Well, a little bit deflating if you're, Los Plumas defense, but, you got to get something going in this first half here. Just to put, even a field goal here could make it, a manageable game here in the second half. So let's see if Los Plumas can run a pretty efficient 2-minute offense here and get back in this ball game.
I think the first thing you got to be thinking is just get a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, everyone loves touchdowns and want a touchdown, but even if you get, some excellent field position, get a good drive going, and, just seeing a 3 or a 6 rather than a 0 on the scoreboard can really, keep this team going into the second half.
Now it looks like the Vikings are lining up for the kickoff here.
All right, fans, let's get up for another Brody Hill kickoff.
And Brody Hill's going to have the kickoff here, yet again at the 35-yard line. And the kick is away. And it's very long, and Osby's just going to let it go into the touch through the back of the end zone, and it's going to be a touchback here on the 20-yard line. So what's going to be the key here?
Well, I think the key here is you want to, get some positive field position fast, and then when you do, get out of bounds. It's just so you can preserve the clock and get in position to score, and maybe, change the complexion of this game. Obviously, you don't want to force a big turnover here and give the ball back, but, if you're Coach Morris, you got to be, you got to get your team motivated and excited somehow. And, just taking a knee here or trying to run out the clock isn't going to do it. So hopefully they try to go for a big score here.
And with that, he's going to hand it off to Osby again, and he breaks it out to the outside. And a pretty nice little gain there. It's going to be about 13, 14 yards here, and that's going to move the chains.
Absolutely. Osby's been kind of thinking about doing that cutback all night, and I think the defense was kind of reading that, but he threw a nice little head shake move there. Got a nice little burst of speed on the outside, picked up first down yardage. It looks like the coach is signaling in the play because Little is looking on his hand card right now for the plays.
And it looks like it's going to be a false start against the center there.
Little with a...
And defensive player's getting a little over anxious there.
Well, I think that was a bit of an acting job by Little there too, try to get the penalty. But I think regardless, it's going to be a false start on them.
We got an illegal motion going against the keepers. That'll back them up another 5 yards.
Yeah, and that's the last thing you need on a 2 to 3 minute offense here is penalties to, back you up.
Absolutely. We'll have to see what bag of tricks this LP team's got. And it looks like Little's going to run with it, and he's going to get close to a first down. It was actually a decent little run there.
Yeah, and actually a very nice play call there by Coach Morris. You got the defense thinking pass. You got the wide receivers on the far side. Unfortunately, it looks like we have yet another penalty.
Yet another.
It's like a yard sale out here with all the penalties we've seen.
Right, absolutely. Oh, and it looks like it's going to be a sideline violation here. The players were crowding the sidelines are probably actually on the field.
Yeah, and I mean that does happen. When you're on the sidelines, you get into the game, you're excited, you kind of forget where you are, but that can come in because that is their warning. The next one is a penalty, so that could play big later in the game.
And here we go. Little's lined up in the shotgun. Here's the snap, and he throws it, and it looks like this one's going to be intercepted very easily here, and it looks like he's going to run it back here, and he's out the sidelines, and he gets brought down past midfield at about 45-yard line. And there's a flag on the field here.
Shocking.
And it looks like it might be unnecessary roughness maybe.
Looks like we have an injured T-Bird down as well.
Injured T-Bird on the field.
Well, if you're Little on that play, you definitely want that ball back. He's been trying to make big plays all night, but that one, once again, you kind of need to dump that or throw it out of bounds.
I think that was Chad Olson with the interception there, and the players on the field will take a knee here. And with this injury, we're going to take a break here, but we will be back.
Oh.
As soon as nope, and it looks like we're just going to keep on broadcasting here, as it looks like he's getting up on his own power, and that's number 87, Dustin Parsons. And it looks like he's going to be okay as the training staff vacates the field. So do the coaches. And the coaches using this time to gripe at the the referees a little bit there.
Understandably so. But you know what? With that injury comes a little bit of insult, because not only does the interception, but you have the penalty, which gives the Vikings beautiful field position here to even put more points on the board to close the half. And that's the last thing you wanted if you're a T-Bird faithful.
Absolutely, and that's been the going theme here, and LP has continuously just shot themselves in the foot here in the first half, and hopefully they'll have a decent second half. And he's going to throw a desperation throw to the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete.
Kind of threw that one falling down there, but kind of amazing arm strength that number... Great arm strength there by Gregory Darms on that throw. Even though he was throwing down, still managed to almost get it to the receiver. And it looks like Coach Cooley is not holding anything back, going to go for the big touchdown here to end the half.
And it's going to be a shotgun. It's going to be a pass play again. He's going to throw it over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete for Tommy Dearman, was the intended receiver.
Yeah. And Dearman looked like he got a little tripped up there on that play, or else he would be back in the end zone right there for 6 points pretty quickly.
Absolutely. It looks like he burned into the secondary there, and it was just an easy toss over the safeties. And
got a little tripped up on his feet a little bit before that threw off the timing a little bit.
And it's going to be a 3rd and 10 here.
This could be a big stop here for Los Plumas if they can hold them to a field goal.
And he's going to go with shotgun again. Looks like it's going to be a pass play. And he's going to throw it, and it's going to be incomplete off to the sideline, and we'll have to see if the field goal unit comes out here.
Yeah, very, very nice 3 plays there by the Los Plumas defense. May have been fortunate on that second play that the receiving didn't time out, but you got to be encouraged if your Coach Morse that your defense got a big stop there and send the Viking field goal unit out.
And Brody Hill will come out here to kick it. And it looks like it's going to be booted into the end zone, so that's going to be a no good.
See, now the folly of the Vikings here trying to go for the touchdown is you left the Los Plumas T-Birds here with about 95 seconds on the clock to maybe try to do something here, but Little's got to calm down a little bit, make the sure throw, and try not to force another big turnover like that.
And with that missed field goal, that's going to create a touchback here. And so Los Plumas is going to take it at their own 20. And it's going to be a pass play out here to number 7, Brendan Matheson. And he is going to be stuffed behind the line. It looks like it's going to be a loss of about 3, so it's going to bring up about 2nd and 13 here.
Yeah, and the Titan defense has kind of, for the most part, kept him contained throughout the night. Like I said, last week he had 5 catches for about 140 yards, but that that Viking secondary has really bottled him up quite nicely.
And the snap, and he fakes a throw left, and he's going to go down the field. And it looks like it's going to be intercepted yet again. By number 46, by Dominic Barazzato.
And now if you're that Viking offense, you're once again licking your chops because, you got 47 seconds here with half a field. obviously Coach Morris wants to make a big play or get a big play for his team at halftime, but the Vikings might have the last laugh here at the end of the first half.
Right, and it looks like it's going to be a passing play here again with nobody in the backfield, and he's going to roll out right, and he's going to pass it down. And it looks like it's going to be enough for the first down here. And he passed to Tommy Dearman.
And very smartly got out of bounds there to preserve some clock. Still 40 seconds left here.
Absolutely. And that's going to bring up another 1st and 10 and another first down for the Vikings here. And they're just racking them up like crazy this game.
That's true, but that Los Plumas defensive line has gotten some good pressure on the quarterback, so let's see if that continues.
And it looks like it's going to be a pass again, intended for Dearman. And it looks like it's going to be just in front of him.
Yeah, just let him a little bit on that play right there. But it looks like they've been trying to hit that slant play for the last few times, so I'm sure they're going to try to dial it up. We'll see if Los Plumas picks up on that.
And we're ready for another pass play here. And he's going to fire it, and it's caught just about the first down marker. And that's going to be Jake Danny.
And the Vikings here are going to be going with a little hurry up.
And they are going to hurry it up with 29 seconds here left in the half.
No timeouts for Los Plumas. They can't stop the ball.
And it's going to be a pass towards the end zone, and it's overthrown. And he overthrew Matt Henderson there.
Still looking for that backbreaker to end the half, but if you're Los Plumas, that's really only your own fault because you've given them, quite a few opportunities here to score at the end of the half.
Right, but you've given them the yards on the penalties. You've given them the field position.
Absolutely, but this defense really has bared down here in the last few minutes.
And it looks like it's going to be a pass play again. They're going to look like to go for the touchdown here with 22 seconds left to go, and he drops back, and he throws it, and it's caught by Matt Henderson there. And it looks like it's going to be enough for the first down. And he got out of bounds, so it will stop the clock with 13 seconds left to go. And it looks like they're going to score a touchdown here. Yeah. Well, they could be looking to score a touchdown here.
Absolutely. 13 seconds and 2 timeouts left as well. A lot of time here.
And he's going to spike the ball to stop the clock here. About 10 seconds left in the half here.
Kind of interesting to spike the ball there, even though you got those 2 timeouts in your pocket. But, I guess if you had the 10 or 12, 1 timeout left. But, very smartly spiking the ball there. Sorry.
Now it's a good decision.
It's a great decision, actually. Would never second guess it.
Okay, he's going to look like he go for the end zone again here. And it looks like he's going to be caught by Tommy Dearman. And it looks like the Vikings are going to go up by 4 touchdowns now with 4 seconds left in the half.
And that really, kind of takes the sails out of this Los Plumas defense that's been hanging in there and been pretty tough here the last few minutes, but just a little bit too much of that Viking offense.
Right, absolutely. And it gets harder and harder the more touchdowns you're back. It's very difficult to come back for 4 touchdowns. And the kick is up, and the referees will rule it good. And so it'll be 28-0 here. Vikings over LP Thunderbirds. And it looks like it's going to go to the kickoff team, and that might be the last play of this half here. Which has just been pretty much a drubbing on all facets of the team.
Well, it hasn't been a very clean or efficient game. A lot of penalties, a lot of personal fouls. But for the most part, both teams have made mistakes, but the team that's really capitalized on it the most have been the Vikings, and the scoreboard really reflects that right now. And if you're Los Plumas, there are some good things to work on for the second half, but they're going to have to get it going in a hurry, or else this is going to be a laugher pretty quickly.
And as we sit on the home side of the field here, I think the fans are getting tired of cheering all the time because they quieted down pretty quick after that touchdown.
I think they're just ready to grab some nachos for halftime.
Yeah,
almost as hungry as I am, I'll tell you what.
And as they stand up here on the home side, and they're going to kick it off, and it's going to be a squibbard on the middle of the field, and it looks like Osby's going to pick it up, and he's going to go nowhere, and he's going to be brought down just about the 17-yard line, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from there. And so with 4 seconds, that is going to end the half. Well, that's the end of the first half of play with the PV Vikings leading the LP Thunderbirds by a score of 28-0. We'll be back in a few moments to the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Don't go anywhere. It's Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to try to dictate to you what you're going to do on both offense and defense. We're going to come at you.
One shot at this. But now it's time to put the hats on and go get some work done.
So they're all going to look to make a statement early.
.3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from Dion.
He took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just...
Holy cow!
Can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons win. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take. And there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot. Kept alive. Back and one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the feed from James Robinson. What a play by the Stag.
Runner at third is Chavez. 8-2 the score. Bottom of the seventh. The 1-2. Popped in the air. This should do it. Cortopassi says it's mine. Now he's fading on it. And he can't make the catch. But Gaff comes in from center field and does. Congratulations to the St. Mary's Rams, a three-peat. They win it 8-2 against Franklin to take the series 2-0.
But this is time to run an offensive set that you've done all through the season in practice.
Yeah, and also, you get it to your hottest player right now, just like they're getting into Eichhorst right here. He's going to try to create some space, find somebody on the backside that's open.
Eichhorst flush out to the right. Oh, breaks free of a player. Eichhorst on his own. Shoots and scores. Bounces the shot home. Coos can't handle the shot. Eichhorst takes off the shirt and the helmet. And how about that? Alex called it. Eichhorst, after sustaining the injury in the third quarter of play, has scored the game winner with 22 seconds gone in the overtime period. Dogpile on the field. Marin Academy take it. A fantastic finish to this game, and I hope his other ankle isn't hurting after this.
Hancock to his immediate left. Two receivers far side, one near side. Hancock on a counter, right side. He's inside the 10. He bounces off a tackler at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Helix. And behind Hancock, the field is littered with white jerseys on the turf.
Wow. Hancock not to be outdone by his fellow playmakers on offense. Put on a show on that short 12-yard touchdown run. Looked like he was down after 3 yards, just threw a defender on the ground.
As sophomore Chris Carter steps under center in their tight wing formation. Lycos in motion. Second back through is Freeman. Freeman just knocking people over. Look at him run. Breaks through. 4 tackles. And now it's just a foot race to the end zone. And Freeman's going to go the distance. Touchdown Imperial on the first play of the second half. 2nd and 6 for Imperial from their own 47. They're going to give it to Freeman again off the left side. And Freeman gets by one wave and down across the 40-yard line. Still on his feet. Look at him run down to the 20-yard line. One man to beat. Gets by him. Touchdown, Freeman. How did he do that? Holy cow. 64-yard touchdown run. His 5th of the game.
Welcome to the PlayOnSports.com halftime show, coming to you from Asgard Yard here in Chico, California. I'm Frank DiRienzo alongside Nick Dobis. Our halftime score is the Vikings leading 28 and the LP Thunderbirds trailing by a score of nothing.
Yeah, and the scoreboard may reflect that it seems like it's been all Vikings, which for the most part it has been. They've been running the ball very effectively, keeping that Las Plumas defense offline, but both teams have had numerous penalties, which have given both teams a lot of opportunities for scoring positions. But the team that has capitalized it the most has been the Vikings. Las Plumas, they had a big momentum swing at the end of the first quarter with a couple sacks. Their offense got a few breaks towards the middle of that first quarter. Actually had a nice drive down to that goal line, but just couldn't convert. But a couple nice touchdown passes to Henderson and Dearmon, and then Savercool also has been a pretty cool customer with 2 touchdowns as well.
Yeah, and from what I saw in the first half there, it was LP just couldn't get it done. It was always something that happened to prevent them from either getting into the touchdown. It was that fumble right down there, and on the 1 yard line, and it's just always been something that just they've got shot in the foot and they can't make it.
Yeah, absolutely. They tried to make something happen at the end of that second quarter right there. But what it really did, because they had a couple turnovers right at the end, it really gave this Viking offense fantastic field position to get 2 quick touchdowns. I mean, this could easily have been a 14-7 ball game at one point, but both teams are going to have to really clean up the penalties, but I think the Vikings can get away with it a little bit more now with a 28-point lead where Las Plumas not so much. And, I mean, this Los Plumas team, they gave up about 290 yards on the ground last week. But that's with Corning only completing one pass. So you knew the Vikings were going to come out and run the ball on them. But they have shown some good pass rush, and I think they could potentially make some plays and get back into this thing. But they're going to have to do it pretty quick, or because this Vikings offense is just going to keep on rolling.
Right. And what I noticed near the the end of the first half there is that both teams are starting to talk a little bit to each other, and they're starting to get physical.
Yeah.
So this second half should prove interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, both teams getting a little chippy out there. Like I said, these are 2-0-1 teams. Both teams really want to get that first victory on their mark, and it is going to get a little bit chippy. But you know what? You got to play as a player. You got to play within yourself and realize that a penalty can really hurt your team, especially if you're Los Plumas. You can't afford any turnovers or penalties in the second half if you want to climb back into this.
Well, that's going to do it for the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Friday Night Football will return in just a few moments with the start of the second half right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to try to dictate to you what you're going to do on both offense and defense. We're going to come at you.
One shot at this. Now it's time to put the hats on and go get some work done.
So they're all going to look to make a statement early.
Daniel, can you hear me up there? Yeah? You've been checking?
One match away from immortality.
All right. Are we ready?
You're watching PlayOnSports.com's presentation of Friday Night Football live from Chico, California, and it looks like we're ready here for the second half. No time to talk here. We just want to get the action rolling here.
I always said less talk, more football anyway.
Absolutely.
So.
With Brody Hill, he's going to kick off to start the second half here. And it looks like A.J. Cahey is going to have the ball here, and he breaks out to the outside, and it looks like he's going to be stuffed right here at about the 30-yard line or close to it.
It's some pretty solid field position here for the Thunderbirds. Start off the second half, which they need something really positive out here. And when I say positive, they really do need a touchdown in order to make this thing interesting.
Absolutely, I completely agree. They have to score now.
Yeah. Those first few minutes of any ball game are in the second half are usually a pretty pivotal moment. So we'll see how they end up here.
And Little's going to fake to the right and hand it off to the left here.
Yeah, they've been trying to run that trap play for most of the night, which has been kind of a feast or famine play. But I think that defensive line for the Vikings starting to sniff it out a little bit.
Hey, Viking family, check your program number on the bottom left-hand corner.
And as you can see on your screen, Carson O'Connell is doing some double duty here, not only playing center on offense, but is also playing that nose tackle position. And he is quite a load on either side of the ball.
And right on, it looks like they're going to do a little end around here. And it looks like they're going to get to him in the backfield. And Benjamin Whitmore brought down.
It's a loss on the play of
Yeah, those end-around plays can be rewarding, or they can end up just like that. They're really long developing plays, but I mean they could set up for something bigger later. But they're going to need a big play here on 3rd down.
And that was Brendan Matheson with the loss there, and it looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 15 here. In motion. And it's going to be a play action over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted. By Riley Andrew. And he's going to bring it back down to the 15-yard line, and here we go again. Looks like the Vikings are in very good position to score yet again.
Yeah, that's the 3rd pick of the evening for this Viking defense, and once again, outstanding field position for this Viking offense. And you almost kind of like personally want to root for this Los Plumas defense because they've had to work with a short field for most of the night, and that's very challenging for any defense on any level.
Absolutely. And it looks like it's going to be an option, and he's going to toss it out to Sabercool. And Sabercool looks like he's going to be right around the 1st down marker down there. And looks like it depends on where they spot it.
One of the more unique pitches you see right there. Looks like they lost a little bit of pitch relation, but Sabercool was able to make a nice catch on that spiral of a toss right there.
Right. Well, it looks like it was an option,
Yeah.
but the linebacker snuffed it out, and with the cool head, Darms just tossed it out to Sabercool and picked up quite a bit of yards.
Some very nice yardage.
And that was a handoff inside yet again, and it looks like it's going to be enough for the 1st down. And it's going to be 1st and goal here on the 8-yard line, maybe even 9-yard line. With 9:25 left here in the 3rd quarter, they're knocking on the door yet again.
Absolutely. And this very well could be the final coffin in the nail. Still a lot of time left, but 35-0, and you haven't really done much on offense. It's got to be a backbreaker.
And it looks like it's going to be a handoff here again to Sabercool, and he breaks off inside, and it looks like he's going to have enough for the touchdown here. And that's going to be the Vikings' 5th touchdown here.
And 3rd by Sabercool on this play. Nice vision on that run there. Stayed patient, followed his blockers right in the end zone. So he's having a heck of a ball game here tonight, that's for sure. And if you're Los Plumas, you got to be kind of lost out of the words here and got to have something absolutely positive on this upcoming drive.
And here we go with Brody Hill yet again. And the kick splits the uprights. And that'll put the Vikings up 35 over the Thunderbirds. They have nothing. And it looks like we're going to start this other drive here with about 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
It'll be interesting to see if Little comes back under center. 3 picks, two consecutive picks if you count the 2nd quarter as well. But maybe Coach Morris will keep him in there. This could be a good learning, developmental game for him. But he's got to make some better decisions with the ball because it's hurting his team right now.
Absolutely, and if you're the Thunderbirds, I don't think you're thinking about winning the game so much, but I think you're trying to prevent that shutout.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're a Viking, you're definitely looking for that shutout. Especially on the defense, it's a huge mark of pride.
Right.
So let's see if Los Plumas can crack that goose egg on the scoreboard in the next 2 quarters here.
Okay, and as the home fans stand up here for yet another kickoff, Brody Hill, and he boots it. And it looks like it's going to be near the end zone there. And it's going to be returned, and he's going to be met just about the 12-yard line.
Very close to, actually, pretty close to a face mask right there. Even the home crowd kind of reacted negatively to that one.
Yeah, that was A.J. Cahey.
But we haven't seen a penalty yet in the first few minutes, so that's a good sign for both teams.
And it was Brandon Romero with the tackle there.
Yeah. And I think for Los Plumas to get back into this, they have to get something going on the ground right now as well, just to help out that passing game.
And Jess Little's going to hand it off, and he's going to get a couple yards here. That's Osby yet again, Ronnie Osby.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to get a pickup of about 5 here. It's going to be 2nd and 5. It's about 8:30 left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Osby's a pretty shifty runner. He likes to move, east to west, but I think sometimes he just needs to get, gun it north to south. He's got the speed to do it, and he definitely had the opportunity there with that hole, but he's a little hesitant on that run.
And with the snap again, it looks like it's going to be a misdirection play for Osby, and he's going to get some pretty good yardage here, and he gets the first down and then some, and it looks like he's going to be brought down at just about the 30-yard line.
Nice.
And that was a nice little run there.
Yeah, nice little run. Nice, good push by the offensive line. Still a faint pulse in this Los Plumas team. Even though a touchdown here might be irrelevant, but it could get this team going and get them back in this ball game. And could have a thriller of a second half, but that remains to be seen.
And it looks like it's going to be Osby on the outside here, and it looks like he's going to pick up just about 6 or 7, and it looks like the football came out, but they're going to rule him. They're going to rule him down.
There was a fumble on the play. Looks like the Vikings end up with it.
Oh, actually looks like they did change.
And it looks like it's going to be a change of possession here on the fumble.
Well, if you're Coach Morris, if you're watching films on Saturday or Sunday, Monday with your team, turnovers have been the main driving force to why this team is down 35-0 right now.
And here we go again with excellent field position with less than half the field to go for a touchdown. And it looks like he's going to hand it off to Savercool here again, and he breaks free and through, and it looks like he's going to have a touchdown. Oh, and that was Houston McGowan, excuse me.
Almost looked like Savercool, though. Looked like his twin brother out there.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like he broke just about 3 tackles there, and he runs it into the end zone, and looks like it'd be about a 35-yard touchdown run here, and it's 41-0 now. As this drubbing comes full circle here.
Yeah, this is starting to turn into an old-fashioned woodshed beating at this rate.
And Brody Hill with the kick. And it splits the uprights, and it's good. It is now 42-0.
Well, if you're this Los Plumas team right now, you got to start thinking about with a 42-0 score. You're probably not going to be getting back in this ball game, but there's still some good things to build upon for next week. And it starts with cleaning up the offense, limiting the turnovers, and actually putting a positive drive together. Because they've opened up this half with 2 turnovers, and that's just not going to get it done in any stage of football.
And it looks like when LP goes back to practice on Monday, it looks like they're going to be concentrating on fundamentals, and I'm sure they're going to be running.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Because I remember when I played, any missed tackle, any fumble, anything like that, I'm running. I'm running until I can't run anymore.
Glad I didn't play for your coach, that's for sure.
And the kick is off here. And it looks like it's going to be Marcus Smith with the return. And he comes up on the left side of the field, and he is hit pretty hard there. And it looks like he got up to about the 20-yard line.
Marcus Smith on the return, picks up about 12 yards.
It was about a 12-yard return.
Well, unlike the Orland crowd who left after about the third or fourth quarter last week when the game was in hand, no one I don't think has left this this hometown stadium right here. And that's, I mean, obviously as a home opener, you know, you want to stay and relish this victory.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is completely, every single seat is filled except for our little area here. And it looks like Little's ready to go here. And he pitches it out to Osby here, and he's going to be stuffed. And it's going to be very little gain, if any. And it looks like it's going to be no gain. And it's going to be 2nd and 10 here.
Now, I know you're little, you still have those 2 interceptions in the back of your head, but you know, if you're going to want to get back into this ball game or at least put up a respectable score, you're going to have to think about putting it up in the air here. Something that's just making solid throws, don't force anything, just make the play that's there.
And with that, he's going to escape the danger, and it looks like he's going to take it himself, and I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage there, and another flag on the field here.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be a late hit, probably pretty close to out of bounds. It looks like, I couldn't tell who that player was, but it looks like he might have led with his head as well on that play.
And we'll have to wait till the referee can make a ruling here.
This Viking defense has not given up anything, not let up. They are still flying around, making some big hits, trying to preserve that 0 on the scoreboard.
And after discussion, the penalty is going to be waived here. So no penalty, so that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
One of the few flags that's been picked up this evening.
Absolutely. And I'm waiting around for the referee here. And looks like we're just about ready. And here we go. It's going to be a fake to the left and a handoff inside. And it looks like the ball came out. And we'll have to see who recovered it here. And it looks like another turnover by this LP Thunderbirds team who's, well, I mean, the Vikings' best offense have been, or the Vikings' best defense have been the LP's offense.
Absolutely.
Because, they've been shooting themselves in the foot all game. And here we go again with yet another turnover.
And you know, when it rains, it just seems like it pours. And that's a 3rd straight turnover for this Los Plumas offense. And they have just been completely dismantled in the second half.
Dave Ferguson will come on here as a quarterback, and he runs to the left side, and he's not going to make it back to the line of scrimmage, and there is a flag on the play.
Another flag after the play,
and
too,
there's a flag
well.
after the play as well, so it looks like we're going to have 2 penalties here, and the referees are going to have to sort it out and let us know.
There's that chippiness we were talking about at the end of the first half, and it looks like it's resurfacing itself. Obviously, a bit of frustration on the Los Plumas side. You know, you just have 3 consecutive turnovers. You're frustrated, but you still need to play within yourself and, you know, respect the sportsmanship of the game. But let's see what the officials decide here. It might be offsetting. It looks like Carson O'Connell will be pulled out of the game. He had a very nice ball game playing both ways, and looks like he's going to be enjoying the rest of this game on the sidelines.
And it looks like it's going to be a holding call on the Vikings and an unsportsmanlike conduct as well. So that's going to bring it back just about 25 yards.
And vice versa, I was just saying, you know, you got a 42-0 lead. There's no need for you to, you know, talk back or, have any personal fouls like that.
Right. That's inexcusable.
Keep playing hard, but, respect the game as well.
Right, absolutely.
That I know my coach would make me run for. It's not the missed tackles, it's the little bonehead decisions at the end of a game like that. Oh, a little confusion with the chain gang there.
The chain gang.
They've been
It's
pretty.
going to be about 1st and 25 here.
They've been pretty busy when that Viking offense has been on the field.
Have it ready to go here with 1st and 30. And he's going to hand it off inside. It looks like he fumbled it, but looks like he may have recovered it. And that's going to be yet another loss. It's going to be about 2nd and 30. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage here.
Yeah, it looked like Connor Melton really never got his feet underneath him on that play, but luckily he got back on the ball and is able to preserve it for a 2nd down.
And Zane Ferguson looks like he's ready to go under center here. With 5:15 left in the 3rd, they're going to hand it off up the middle. And he's going to gain just about 8 yards or so, maybe even 7. And his helmet come off during that play. And that's Dominic Barazzato.
These Viking running backs are not very big, but they've proven to pack a punch here. They've been breaking tackles and showing some nice speed around the outside as well. So it'll be fun to watch throughout the season.
And as they're done with the huddle here, be ready to go on 3rd and 22. And they're going to hand it off here. And it's going to be a pitch left. And they maybe pick up 5 or 6 yards on the play. And it'll be about 4th and 19, and I believe the punt team's going to come out.
As they should. There's no need to keep the offense on the field. Punt the ball away and get your defensive, your second team defense some work.
It's actually going to be a field goal here, a very long field goal.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be a long one. It's going to be just about a 54-yarder or 53-yarder. And they're going to take a timeout to think about it here.
PlayOnSports.com. PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it is also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
And as we still await out the timeout here, Vikings up by a substantial amount here. It's going to be about 4th and 16, and they brought on the field goal team before they called that timeout. And if it were a field goal, it would be about a 54-yarder.
It's too bad they don't have Aldrich Rosas, that kid from Orland last week.
Oh, absolutely.
AKA the boot, as dubbed by this by this broadcast team. He's got a heck of a leg. But let's see if this kid's got a leg as well.
And he's gonna have to boot this thing. And Brody Hill with the kick. And it looks like it's going to be short as it hits the goal line and rolls back up to a referee. And so with 3:40 left here in the quarter number 3, LP will get the ball back on kickoff return. And we're just hoping they can probably score a touchdown here.
And I think that's what they're hoping for, too.
Right.
As a team, and just work for something positive to look forward to build upon for the next game. And I think right now a touchdown would go a long ways for this Los Plumas team. But 3 consecutive turnovers, they're going to have to, they just need to stop giving the Vikings the ball here, especially with excellent field position.
Right, and I think it's a matter of trying to stop the bleeding on on offense, and touchdown would certainly do the trick.
Touchdown it would go a long way. It doesn't
Right.
seem like it, but it would definitely go a long way.
And the quarterback drops the snap here and falls on it for, it looks like it's going to be about maybe a 1 yard loss. And it looks like the Vikings recovered on that play. We were blocked a little bit.
That is the 4th turnover for the T-Birds this quarter, making it 6 for the game. And, I mean, if you're Coach Morris, you just probably beyond the part of frustrated right now.
Right. And I'm sure it's beyond frustration now. And what we'll take away from this game, and it's probably an offside penalty there.
And that's it's just lack of concentration, even though you are down 42-0, you still have a lot of pride to play for, and they just need to lock it in and get their focus back.
And as we await what they're going to call here, and it's going to be a false start against Vikings.
I guess the right guard right there kind of rocked a little bit in his stance, causing Kendall Maxwell to jump into the neutral zone and knock him back.
And we're ready here again with about 2:35 left in the third quarter. And they're going to hold it off, and there is another flag. And number 37 breaks a few tackles, and he's going to be brought down at about the 7-yard line. That was a pretty good pickup, but we'll have to see if this is brought back from the flag.
Yeah, good pickup there by Garrett Greenwald, but I think it's probably going to be coming back, as you said. And like I said, too many penalties by both teams. Even though it doesn't seem like the Vikings are really affected by those penalties, they still need to clean it up if they want to be competitive.
Right, and that's going to be a false start yet again for the second time here against the Vikings, and so that's going to, it's going to be about a 1st and 20 here, and the clock is still running down. And the snap, and he's going to hand it off. And he's not going to get too far this time. And he pushes his way to maybe about 5 yards there. And it looks like that's Garrett Greenwald on the carry. And it's too bad. He had a pretty good carry the last one. It's just too bad the penalty brought it back.
Yeah, that happens. But, as a running back, you're always looking forward to the next carry. And I'm sure he still has faith in the offensive line, which is, putting in a good amount of work tonight. And
it looks like we might have another false start here.
Looks like that second unit's going to have to clean it up a little bit for the Vikings.
Right. And it's going to be a false start yet again. And so that's going to push them back to where they were before.
a little deja vu right there.
Absolutely. And it's going to be 2nd and 21 here. With about 1:30 left in the third quarter here. And he's going to roll out right, and he's going to pass, and it is caught. And he's going to get down around the 15-yard line.
Yeah, there hasn't been too many bright spots for Las Plumas, but Dominic Davis has actually had a pretty nice game. That's had a few sacks in the first half, and got some nice pressure right there, and it's really been a bright spot on this Thunderbird defense. But it's been kind of in vain so far tonight.
And that was Bryce Johnson, who is the new signal caller here. And it's going to be 3rd and 9, maybe even 8 here. And it looks like he's going to carry with it, but he's going to lose by a bunch. And it looks like they're going to go 4 and out here and maybe even try again for a long field goal here as time is about to run out of the third quarter. And it looks like it might here. About 10 seconds left to go.
Yeah, the last field goal actually had some pretty good height on it, just didn't have quite the leg. So this should be quite well within his range right here. So we'll see if he puts it right through the uprights, adding to this this already pretty substantial lead.
And that will end the third quarter. The Vikings up 42-0 over the Thunderbirds. And it can't get more one-sided than that, can it?
No, sir. And it's, good job by the Vikings offense, but they've been pretty blessed with some excellent field positioning. And, if you lost Plumas, you come out of the locker room, you can't afford to turn the ball over, let alone turn it over 4 times in the same period. That's going to sink anyone's ship at that rate. But you know what? If you're a Viking fan, come out here in full force here at Asgard Yard, and they're going to go home pretty happy tonight, I'll tell you what.
I'm sure of that.
And, this is going to be a very nice win for Coach Cooley, who's going to pick up his first win of the season and his first win as a head coach here at Pleasant Valley. So congrats to him. And despite, missing the playoffs last year, this has been a program that's been pretty consistent over the years. According to Max Preps, they've been ranked in the top 25 ever since they've been to school here, which has been about 8 or so years. Division II champs in 2009. Highest ranking was number 2 in the section, and that was back in 07. Lowest ranking of 21, which is about an average about 8 or 9. So they've been, even though they missed off of the playoffs last year, they've been pretty consistent.
And it looks like we're going to go with the field goal here and the kick. And it looks like it has the distance, but it looks like it's going to miss wide left. And so the score will stay at 42-0 here. And it looks like LP will take over at right on the 20-yard line.
A little left of the senior Barca Lounger there in the end zone as well. And if you're a senior here at PV, you got to be pretty happy with your team's performance as well.
And here we go. LP's going to start again. And here we go with the snap. And it looks like it's going to be a quarterback draw here, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield.
Looks like they tried to go with a little wildcat option there with Ronnie Osby there.
I see.
So, at this point in the game, it's time to kind of open up the playbook, try some different plays you normally wouldn't try, and just get that real-time play practice in and try to, get some new plays in.
And as we wait for the play to come in here into the huddle, we'll have about 10:40 left in the fourth quarter. Rest of this game here on a very one-sided affair. And it looks like it's going to be Osby yet again with the wildcat option. And he's going to keep running, and he missed a couple defenders there, but it looks like he's not going to pick up more than 2 yards here.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen this kind of earlier in the game. It would be a kind of a good monkey wrench to throw at Pleasant Valley, especially when the game was a little bit closer. But let's see if it can continue to get him yards right here. It would be interesting to see if Osby actually ends up throwing the ball here as well. Maybe get a look at his arm.
Maybe. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout here with 9:52 left to go in this game. And it's kind of amazing the shift that's happened in the stadium right now because everybody is quiet.
Yeah.
We're the only ones talking right now.
Well, I think it's that full content feeling you have after Thanksgiving. You pound all the food and you're a little quiet. I think that's how these fans kind of feel right now. They've seen their team get their fill of points,
Right.
and they've just got that full satisfied feeling right now.
So your theory is everybody's got the itis, huh?
Actually, absolutely, absolutely. Regardless if they're quiet or not, they have to be pretty happy with their team's performance here and getting the big home opener win here.
Right, and they've done everything. They've turned the ball over. They've scored the points, obviously, and and it seems like every facet of their game is just clicking.
Yeah, and I mean they got a lot of. I mean they do have a lot of stuff to build on. Obviously, the penalties are one thing they need to polish up. But I mean, if they get everything clicking, they might have a chance to beat a pretty good Chico Panther team later in the season.
And back in shotgun, here's the snap, and it looks like he's going to run with it and option out, and they're going to lose a bunch here. And it looks like they're going to go 3 and out here yet again, and they're going to put it right at about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, Jason Ogletree took quite a shot right there on that pitch, but luckily got it out in time. And punting team hasn't been too effective here for the Los Plumas, but hopefully they can get a decent punt here in order to force the Vikings at least to have okay field position, because they've been loving the field position they've had all night.
Henderson, Dominic Gazzetto back deep to receive the punt.
And the punt is away, and it's a good punt to about the 43-yard line, and he is going to return a bunch of yards here, and he's going to make it down to about the 25-yard line. And yet again, for the Vikings have excellent field position here in the fourth quarter.
They do, but their second unit was far from polished, and their last drive they're only going for a field goal. So let's see if they can, kind of clean it up again and get a good, efficient drive like that first unit team. It looks like Carson O'Connor with his helmet off. O'Connell with his helmet off on the sideline, definitely drinking in this nice victory as well.
And it's going to be a handoff to the left side, and he's only going to pick up a couple here. And that was Garrett Greenwald on the carry.
Yeah. And, it's going to be a little bit easier slope for this Los Plumas team, because they did move from the Eastern to the Butte View League, which is arguably a little bit easier league, but they still have to face, Orland, Sutter, and Paradise the last 4 weeks of the season. And all three of them are currently ranked in the top 6 in Max Prep's rankings. So they're going to, they're going to have some good games, but they're going to have to get together because they're going to be seeing some really good teams at the end of the season.
And that was Garrett Greenwald again with the carry here, and it looks like he picked up just about 3 or 4 yards there, and looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 5 to go. Maybe 3rd and 4. And a handoff again to Greenwald, and he's pushing forward, fighting for those extra yards, and he might have a first down here.
It'd be interesting to see if the Vikings go for it here, because, it looks like they got the first down, actually.
And there's about 6:50 left in this game. And the home team is quite quiet here. It's very surreal in these stands right now.
Very much so. I think they're just waiting to go home, I think, at this point.
And with 6:35 left on the clock, looks like there's a snap it here. And he's going to hand it off to the fullback here, and he's going to be stuffed immediately.
Yeah.
And that looked like Brian Esquivel on the carry. And they'll give him about 3 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 7 here on just about the 10-yard line.
So who are you kind of liking right now for our Play on Sports Player of the Game right now?
I would have to say, I don't know. I'm going to have to go with the good old Savercool, man. I think he ran really well tonight. He put up the yards. He's got the touchdowns, and I'm liking him for player of the game.
And Savercool does have a nice ring to it for the player of the game as well.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, he absolutely, tip of the cap to him. He had some really nice plays, and also that offensive line, which really showed up to play. Had a little bit of trouble with the pass rush a little bit, especially in that second quarter, but they really locked it in, and it's been all Vikings football ever since then.
Yeah, and they have just absolutely dominated this game. And as the time continues to run down here, they're just trying to chew up as much of the clock as possible. And it looks like it's going to be a pass. To Jake Danny there, and it looks like it's going to be just a couple of yards there, so it looks like it's going to be about 4th and 5 to go on just about the 7-yard line.
We just got mistaken for ESPN here in a broadcast booth. I don't know if I should tell the truth or just kind of let the lie lay a little bit, but I feel a little honored.
They're not better. We're better.
You're right.
And with that, we have a little handoff here inside. And it looks like where they're going to mark it here. And it looks like they might mark it short of the goal line here, but that is enough for the first down. So it'll be 1st and goal here on the 1-yard line with Garrett Greenwald on the carry.
Yeah, he was pretty convinced he had that touchdown there, but
Sure.
It looks like he's going to be just short, but I'm sure he'll get another chance here.
Right, so did all the Vikings players. They all put their hands up for the touchdown signal, but
to no avail.
To no avail. But it looks like they'll have 4 chances to get it in here with about just under 4 minutes here left to go. And it looks like it's going to be a touchdown here. Yet again. And that's going to make it 48-0 here with about 3:24 left in the 4th quarter. And it seems like a bunch of fans are now leaving. That was the final straw there.
They wanted to make sure they got that 48 on the board, just to make sure, in case Los Plumas came back here. But no, they've been pretty faithful. I've been sticking in there, and they love their football here. Great football tradition, as I said. So yeah, of course they'll watch an entertaining game.
And the kick is up, and it splits the uprights, and it is good, and it is 49 points here. So it's the Vikings 49, LP nothing.
Well, if you're still sticking around, stay tuned for the PlayOn Sports postgame show, where we'll select our player of the game, as well as wrap up all the action from this ballgame. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. And I think we've already kind of mentioned who we think our player of the game is, but we'll get his insight on the game and see his reaction on this pretty dominant performance here.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll be sure to check up on the official stats here as well. And yet again, the fans will stand up, the fans who are staying here, diehard fans. And the kick is away, and it's a good one. Going to be caught about the 4-yard line and return to just about the 10-yard line, maybe even the 15. And LP takes over here with 1:25 left in the 4th quarter. Of course, And it looks like we're about a minute to go here in this ball game. And LP's having some communication issues here on the sidelines.
Well, Coach Morris told the Orville Mercury Register the other day, if we can do everything correctly, we can be a playoff team. But at this rate, they have a lot of stuff to correct if they want to get in the playoffs. But this has been a program that has struggled quite a bit over the years, and it looks like they have some athletes that can make a difference. But looks like that's going to have to get started next week.
Right, and with that, he'll haul it off to the fullback, Cody Hardwick, for just a couple of yards. And with 25 seconds left here in this game, it looks like this one's going to go in the record books.
Well, Coach Cooley's got to be pretty satisfied with this one. In the article through the Chico ER, he said that he came to PV because it was the right school, the right program, the right community, and the right fit. And he's got to be feeling pretty right after this 42-0 victory right here.
And with that, the game is over. The Vikings from Pleasant Valley win here 49-0 over the LP Thunderbirds, and that's Los Plumas from South Oroville. And be sure to stick around for the postgame show, and where we'll have the postgame show and the player of the game right after this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity. And they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack. Great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback. A second opportunity by Bosback. Lift violation call. Winner. It's an over the neck call. Oh my goodness. Bosback reached over on the attack. A Maverick error wraps up the title for the Presentation Panthers. A 15-9 victory in game number 5, and they wrap it up coming back from 2-0 down match-wise and take it 3-2.
36-35 and driving, and oh, baby! Shrigley with the jam, and it was with emphasis. And it's the foul, and listen to these fans.
Do you know who's standing up right behind us? Tony Bland, who is the head recruiter for San Diego State. I think he's drooling. Somebody get that man a napkin.
Quick score on this drive. There goes a handoff to Zeller, trying to go straight ahead, but he is met by Wool. Now he breaks out to the outside, gets across the 30, 35, on the right, 40, midfield. He's running down the sidelines. He's going to go all the way. As he's at the 10, 5, touchdown! Patrick Zeller stood up at the line of scrimmage and broke out to his left to the far sidelines, and he was in a foot race, and he went all the way for the touchdown, broke a tackle, and made it nice and showed his speed as he got outside for the touchdown.
Back in the backfield to the left is Campbell. Hernandez takes the snap, play action to Campbell. Looks down the field. Now here comes the pressure. He's going to be hit. He breaks the tackle, rolls left. Now he's going to cut upfield. He's going to break another tackle, and then another tackle down the sideline. Gets a block inside the 5. What a touchdown! Hernandez goes 33 yards in spectacular fashion, breaking 4 tackles along the way, including 2 in the backfield, and Hilltop has tied this one up at 29.
Grant with a big, strong defensive rebound. He brings it back down the floor again, and another slam dunk. Jeremy Grant can run the point, and he can fly. Huge dunk, 2 big dunks in the last
Bullard
minute.
trying to close it out. Deep ball, up in the air, Cram. Bringing it back, Arbizo. Cram over in 3, free opportunity. Look for Rodabaugh, no, pass middle, Weimer!
Ball game.
25-19, Foothill wins it 3-1.
Because this kid has definitely proven that he can make things happen here in this ballgame.
They will go with him. Bula Graft on a stretch run, just breaking tackles. The little man is in the clear to Tory territory. The 25, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Knights. What a run, the freshman, Bula Graft.
Ooh, I tell you what. There were at least 3 times on that run that he should have gone down or he should have been wrapped up. Missed tackles there cost La Jolla Country Day as Bula Graft, the freshman running back for Bishops, is able to take it in. And that was a determined run there, Andy.
So 1st and 10. Brandon Lewis in the shotgun. Has time to throw. And he'll fire, and he has a mad diving catch. Did he hold on to it? He did. What a catch from Kendall Keys. And that may be the KBC Sports Player of the Week.
What a catch he laid himself out there, and a great throw, as you said. Read it nicely, did Lewis, and really caught his receiver on the go, and just kind of put it out there right on the outstretch of his fingertips. He laid out, and he made a catch.
1-1.
You know when a pitcher is behind an account and throws his breaking ball, he's feeling it.
The pitch is going to be fisted to second base on a liner, and the ball is caught by McGrew, and Valley Christian wins the game on a Cameron Stewart no-hitter.
Wow, what a way to go out if you're Cameron Stewart. A no-no in the championship game. If there's scouts out there, they had to be impressed by this young kid's velocity, control, and breaking ball all worked well today. He had it going for this Valley Christian team.
What a gem. He's going to give it to Tyree on an exchange against the zone, do a little 3-man weave. This is Tyrell back with it. Tyrell's going to go lob backdoor. Tyree Robinson with a flush.
Now that was nice. Very nice design play.
Uwaba back there. Bogart takes a snap. He's going to run the play. He's going to throw. He's got a man open at the 10. It's underthrown. It's incomplete. No, or is it caught? It is a catch. Wow, juggling catch inside the 5-yard line. Moliga. Was that Moliga pulling that one in? It is Moliga. Boy, that ball was deflected by one of the Falcons, and then Moliga, he lands on the ground and pulls it in. What a catch.
3 men in the backfield, back to the wing. This time inside counter to Telefaro. No, they're going to throw this one. He's got a man open. And what a catch!
And welcome back to PlayOnSports.com, your destination for Friday Night Football here in the northern section. We are here with Sam Savercool, who ran for 166 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sam, I know you... Sorry, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. I'm sorry, Sam. But, Sam, going into this game, you know you obviously wanted to run the ball, but what were some key things you wanted to accomplish in this game and put up the scores that you did?
Well, our goal going in was we wanted to get 42 points, and we wanted to do most of that on the ground to start, and then we wanted to open up at the passing game. And the offensive line opened up holes all night, and it was there whenever we wanted it.
Absolutely. Now, you know, looking at a 49-0 victory like this, there's obviously a lot of positives that you can take out of it. What are some things that, you know, kind of in reflection that you guys think you can work on in order to have a more solid performance?
We just need to come out next week and work as hard as we can, as we have been. And we need to do the same thing every week. Our goal is 42 points every week, and we strive to get that.
All right. What about now on the defensive side? They obviously got you some great field position with a lot of the turnovers there in the second half. Now, I know the score the goal is the 42 points, but what are some defensive goals that you guys have, not only in this game, but going ahead in the season?
We still need that defensive score. We want to score on defense. We want to get turnovers. We want to get good field position every time that we're on defense.
All right. Well, you guys look pretty impressive for that Almond Bowl coming up later in the season.
Yeah,
you guys think you got what it takes to beat Chico?
Yeah, we're excited, and we're going to keep working hard.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam.
Thank
well,
you.
that was Sam Savercool, our player of the game here in Pleasant Valley. Once again, 166 yards on 3 touchdowns. Quite the performance. And stay tuned, and we'll get back to you for the post-game show.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity, and they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack, great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback, a second opportunity by Bosback. Lip violation call. Winner. It's over the neck call. Oh my goodness! Bosback reached over on the attack. A Maverick error wraps up the title for the Presentation Panthers. A 15-9 victory in game number 5, and they wrap it up coming back from 2-0 down match-wise and take.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista.
Welcome back to Chico, California, and the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. I'm Frank DiRienzo alongside Nick Dobis, and we just saw the Pleasant Valley Vikings just completely demolish the LP Thunderbirds by a final score of 49-0. And, well, what do you think?
Well, just speaking to our player of the game, Sam Savercool, he told us the goal was to put up 42 points, and they did that, and a little bit cherry on top as well. Pretty straightforward game plan. Came out here running the ball, and they did that pretty effectively. Las Plumas actually had some decent chances to stay in this game, especially in the first half, but couldn't quite get the touchdown there. They're in the end zone, and quite honestly, the turnovers is what really buried them at the end.
Right, and from what I saw in the game, it was the turnovers, it was the lack of concentration, and it was just the complete lack of fundamentals, if you ask me. And it looks like the coach for the LP squad is going to look to go back to basics here for this next week.
Yeah, Coach Moore says, there's a lot for him to, pick apart and look over with. But, like I said, they still have some pretty talented athletes on their team. Have been a program that's been struggling a lot over the years. But I think Coach Moore will be looking to turn around. And, it's tough to swallow a loss like this, but there's still some positive aspects to get out of it. If you're the Vikings, this is a nice home opener win for you guys, first win of the season, and definitely a win that could boost a lot of their confidence, and really get them back on that playoff track, which they missed last year.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for our here at Asgard Yard in Chico, California, where the Pleasant Valley Vikings defeated the Las Plumas Thunderbirds 49-0. We'd like to thank you for joining PlayOnSports.com's coverage of Friday Night Football from right here in Chico, California. Be sure to check on PlayOnSports.com for information and leaks to all of our upcoming broadcasts. For our producer, Ron Borges, and our videographer, Daniel Luna, and my partner, Nick Dobis, I'm Frank DiRienzo saying so long. We hope you'll join us again next Friday night on your destination for high school sports and Friday Night Football, PlayOnSports.com.